Welcome back to the lunch table, Food for Thought. I'm Nico Blitz. Make sure you hit that subscribe button at the bottom left-hand corner, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio app, if you don't want to see my face for a whole ass hour. My next guest, I completely thought he was Asian based off his name. However, he's an R&B singer, I guess you would say. Yeah. And he has this song called Know that's popping right now. I think it's at like 80,000, maybe 90,000 streams on Spotify. Sushii, what's popping, man?
What's up, man? I'm glad to be here.
Nice to meet you, bro. Yeah. I was thinking about what the first question I would ask you is, and I just came to the conclusion I got to ask, what's your favorite sushi?
Alaskan roll.
Alaskan roll. What's in the Alaskan roll? Because I don't get that.
It's topped with salmon.
Okay.
So basically, it's like kind of like a California roll, but a little more special, but it's topped with salmon.
Gotcha, man. See, I'm more of a Lion King roll myself. There's just so much shit in it. I think there's not sushi. I forgot what fish they use, but it's basically drenched in like Thousand Island sauce, and it's like it's like kind of grilled and shit. It's fire though. It's probably like $18 for one of them joints, but it's so good.
Hell yeah! I feel like every city has their own like special roll, so you never know like all the fucking rolls in the world.
I mean, we need like a Bay Area roll.
Oh,
we don't have that. Where are you from?
I'm from Dallas, man.
Okay, so do they have a Dallas roll?
At a couple of sushi restaurants in Dallas, only in Dallas. You feel me?
Well, what would even be in a Dallas roll? First of all, everything in Texas is huge, so it's fried, right? So then I could imagine the sushi got to be like hella big.
Yeah, probably like a catfish roll or some shit.
See, that doesn't sound too bad.
Hell yeah, man! Put some fucking fried chicken roll. You never know, like
a fried chicken roll. Well, shit, man. That's probably some invention that I've never seen before, but I definitely want.
You know, we got
fried chicken and catfish, or maybe fried catfish. I don't know.
Yeah, in the hood, South Dallas, you know, it'll get popping.
Man, I didn't even realize like sushi made its way all the way there because I'm not really out of California too much. So why'd you name yourself Sushii?
Like I'm not Asian, but I have like my family is an Asian background. I have like Japanese and black cousins, so. That's where I really got it from. Yeah. My family's like a huge military family, so.
Got you. Yeah. Okay, but wait, are you part Japanese or no?
No.
You have like
I'm
family
gonna put that
who are
out there.
Japanese.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, just my family.
So then, what? Like a lot are your cousins Japanese or like?
Okay, so my cousin, she's a huge track star. She actually is in the Olympics for Japan.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's dope. So I have that tie, and I just tied it to me being like naturally raw at sports and music. So that's another reason why I did it. So
what kind of sports did you play?
I played football. I was good at football.
So you were raw at football.
Yeah.
What position?
I played running back.
Okay.
I went to Oklahoma State.
Oh, word. Yeah. Did you play there?
No, I walked on. Shit didn't happen, and then that's how I ended up here. You know.
Okay, but you're raw at music though.
Yeah. They're both been my passions for like my whole life.
How long you been doing music?
I would say me and my homie Lars, which is a producer of mine currently, we started 3rd grade. We were really young. So.
What the hell?
Yeah.
How'd you get into music so young?
My family background. I'm from the South, you know, Little Rock, not Dallas. I moved to Dallas when I was like 4. So, like, in Arkansas, we just chill. You know, everybody's in the choir.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know where Little Rock is, bro.
Yeah.
That must have been like a super small city.
I don't blame. Nah, but that's home. But, yeah, like, we just sit on the porch, you know, vibe out to blues and shit like that when I was younger. So, I think it's just a natural thing.
Yeah, well, you know, like, I think if you look at hip-hop as, like, a whole, like the South has been super prominent. Like, you know, I mean, even like the trap music comes from like Atlanta, the South. There was even that wave that Texas had when it was like Mike Jones, Paul Wall, like, you know, all the Houston shit. And even like nowadays, it's like Megan Thee Stallion's really like popping.
Yeah, I was actually in a cypher with her. Like it was a Dallas versus Houston cypher.
Woo!
Yeah.
There we go. We got something. We randomly got something. When did that happen?
Maybe like 2 years ago. That's how she actually like kind of blew up. Like people got hip to her on that because she just went off, and you'll see like people in the video in the background like, what the fuck? Like they weren't expecting that. So it was like a little cipher between the cities. You know, we got that internal beef that we shouldn't have, but we do. So
yeah. Well, it's kind of difficult, like all coming from the same area, because it's kind of like that crab mentality that people try not to have, but it's like, you know, someone just wants to make it so badly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that hinders Texas a lot, or just other states in general that aren't popping. But yeah, like she was super talented. It was something like you really can't deny. Like if you do, like you're
Yeah.
fucking haters.
So like in this space, right? Like I can only imagine you were like singing
Yeah,
during this
so
freestyle session.
in my freestyle session, it was like a mixture of singing and rapping. Cause
Okay.
I used to rap, so like, but my whole life, you know, I was tapped into the singing. But as I stopped with football, I was with a rap group. I performed a lot in Dallas as a rapper. So really, like, know that was one of the, you know, first emerging songs that people like, oh, he can sing too.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I did well. So, and that's what the route I'm gonna take.
Were you in a choir by chance?
Yeah, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, because I find that like a lot of the singers who like hop on the lunch table, like a lot of them come from like that choir background. So you were in church a lot too then.
Yeah, well, so when I moved from Little Rock,
shout out to Little Rock. Little Rock needs all the love they can get right now.
Oh God, shout out to them. But when I moved from Little Rock, I wasn't really as big in like the church scene.
Okay.
Because my grandmother had me in Little Rock. But as far as Dallas, like I was in choir, second grade until my senior year. So.
Yeah. Damn, that's a long ass
Yeah.
time. So then like now I see like the obvious, like you were in choir for such a long time, and so I could see why you started music at like such a young age. But then why did you decide to go with the rapping route first?
To be honest, I knew I could do it, and at the time, nobody was really fucking with R&B, to be honest. So, like, yeah, and it was just, especially Dallas, because if you look at Dallas, we got Yellow Beezy, Dero, or maybe Erykah Badu, but, like, it's not
true.
like,
Yeah, because, I don't know, how old are you again?
I'm 24.
Okay, see, and I'm 26, like, I think growing up, I think like R&B was like super popular.
Oh,
in, like,
it was
the 2000s.
poppin', yeah.
But then now that you mention it, like yeah, a lot of the R&B singers didn't come from the South.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, even Keisha Cole, like she's from Oakland.
Exactly.
And even like when Ja Rule and Ashanti had like their whole stunt, like you know what I mean, they're not from the South.
Yeah, I mean, I think R&B is gonna be forever big as far as like my peers. I don't think it's like a big focus, or at least at the time. Now, I believe R&B is like coming back.
I think so too, because it's kind of crazy to say because like we're actually going into like 2020 now, so 2010, like the 2010s is like its own decade of music, but it's like it was kind of gone for the 2010s up until recently, where we see people like Daniel Caesar and Ella Mai really put on for like real R&B, and it makes me feel like, damn, I haven't heard this type of music in like 10 years. And I feel like the 2020s are gonna be like this whole renaissance for R&B music.
Hell yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly. So, and that's why I'm here. So
why do you? So like, I guess my question is like, why do you think like R&B has been gone for like the past 10 years?
I think it's a lot of things. Social media, you know.
Shout out to the antics.
Yeah, social media is just like people want to flex nowadays. People don't want to love nowadays, and I think like love is coming back because people are like realizing
love is coming
back.
That's crazy.
Hell yeah, love's coming back. People are realizing like that like fake shit isn't like it's not gonna last. You know, you need some substance and some love. Love is forever. So
it's so funny that you said love is coming back because like I'm noticing talking to a whole bunch of like people who were from the generation like after us, right? Like a lot of them don't believe in love.
Yeah. It's not there. People don't show love. It's like even like people outside of music, it's a crab in a bucket mentality. So it's just like everybody's trying to be the shit, and it's like no showing love. It's no like affection. It's like you're emotional if you're showing affection. Like people shun Drake all the time for being emotional. It's just like.
It doesn't make sense because, at least from my perspective, I think it like if you want to talk about something that's like manly, right? I think it's manly to express your feelings and you know be able to like put yourself in such a vulnerable spot as opposed to keeping this guarded up shell like a crab actually does and be like, nah, I'm hard.
No, and trust me, like the women actually like emotional men. So
yes, because you know even for example, right? Like I had like an interview with this cat, Young Drummer Boy, like maybe like a month or two ago, and you know he was like running the streets and whatnot, and he told me the second like he had like his kids, all that tough mentality just like goes away.
Man, I tell everybody this. This is like a reason why I myself around everybody, even like people who you consider like thugs or gangsters. It's because like at the end of the day, like they have a heart too. Like
100%.
they're like one of the nicest people. They're just like misunderstood, and I think everybody's misunderstood and they don't know how to love. So it's like that's why it's not there.
Yeah, and I think that the way like R&B is moving right now, I think we're gonna understand like how to love each other, and you don't have to do like this fake love type of shit, but really just like just like showing appreciation for somebody is like we don't see that anymore, and it sucks, man. It sucks.
Like, and even like loving like your city, like if you look at Atlanta, like everybody loves each other, everybody shows love to each other, and that's why they're prospering. So I think even outside of R&B, like it's just gonna help music in general.
So question, when you show love, do you show love to Little Rock or Dallas?
I try to do both, but I'm not gonna lie. Like I tell people I'm from Dallas,
okay.
and I've been trying to let people know I'm from Little Rock. I mean, but most of my life I've lived in Dallas.
Yeah. So, why did your family make the decision to move from Little Rock to Dallas though? If you know.
No, I do know. Like my dad was like really big into gangs, so my dad was like a leader of like a blood gang.
Shit.
So like Little Rock was really bad in the 90s. Like they have like Little Rock documentary. Just the homicide was worse than LA and New York.
That's crazy.
So like that's the main reason why I moved. Like my mom and my grandma and my aunt, and like.
Oh, so your dad stayed back?
Yeah. He's like one of those dudes. He's still. I mean, he's calmed down, but he's still like that. Like I don't think he's left Little Rock.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
So then how, I'm not sure if you were able to like process what was going on when you were younger, but like, like looking back at it, like how do you feel about your dad like sticking around Little Rock, for like that gang shit?
Well, I think it was just like a mentality, that people need to like break out of. I think like nowadays, like he understands, and like we talk, he gives me advice, like don't do this, and like I just think he had to go through it, just like I'm going through stuff at his age. I'm his age at the time, so it's just life. But I don't shun him for it, I understand. So
well, that's a beautiful thing, man. I'm happy you're able to keep an open mind with that.
Because
I know some people would look at that whole situation and be like, man, fuck him. He didn't want to leave.
Nah.
But it seems like, to me, he still wanted to live the life he wants. He wanted to live and still wants to live, but wanted better for you.
Exactly. He does. I mean, he probably still has the same homies. They all respect me when I come to the hood. Like, it's all love. So, I mean, I don't think it was no ill intent. It was just my family moved away, and it was just me. My whole family's still in Little Rock, so like I'm that cousin that stays in Dallas. And people come see me and stuff like that.
So then what do you even do when you're in Little Rock whenever you go back?
Man, the same shit. So that's why I go there to see
that's the same way I answer, like, what do you do whenever you go back to the Bay? Like, man, we just doing the same shit.
Yeah.
I just hit up my homie, like, literally an hour ago, and he's like, so what are we doing when you get back? I'm like, I don't know. We could drink.
Exactly.
I don't know what you want to do. Like, bring me back to like normal life.
So I mean, we're just chilling, listening to music, barbecuing, having fun, playing sports outside,
regular
country shit.
Yeah. Shout out to Arkansas, man.
Hell yeah.
I don't even know like any artists who have came out of Arkansas.
There's a lot of like hard trappers. I don't know their names necessarily, but
they're there.
They're there.
They're there.
They're there. Yeah, I've been peeping. My cousins send me like artists sometimes, and a couple of artists have hit me up because I feel like Dallas is a pipeline to surrounding cities like Oklahoma and like
that's true.
Oklahoma City and like Little Rock. Like they all come to Dallas if they can't come here to LA. So it's like.
Well, what's funny is that I've actually had a lot of people who are like. I'm just going to say, like, Texas in general, because I've had people from Dallas and also, like, Houston, like, hop on this podcast. And it's, like, it's funny how, like, to Arkansas, Dallas is, like, what L.A. is to Dallas.
Exactly. That's true. You always have perspective, so. And I don't know. That's why I'm kind of glad I moved from there at a young age, because I have a different perspective. I have that hood and I have that suburb from Dallas.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, I don't know. It fits well.
It does.
So.
It definitely does. So you're in Dallas growing up. Like, do you perform at like talent shows, or are you just kind of like performing like anywhere across the city whenever you can?
So I've been performing talent shows since like 8th grade. Me and my producer, he just played the keys, and I was just singing like some John Legend or some shit. And like,
What was your favorite John Legend song to sing back then, bro?
Girl, I'm in love with you. The same Happy Feet.
Infatuation phase. I remember. See, now it's coming back to me. I haven't heard like John Legend music in so long, bro.
Yeah, man. I can remember like just looking at the crowd, having a little suit on, Lars playing the keys, me serenading the girls, and then texting me later. So.
Damn, there we go. That was the play. He's like, look, man, we could be like this singing producer duo. Get all the honeys back then.
Hell yeah.
That shit must have been like a really easy play for you.
Yeah, bro.
He was like, yeah, for sure.
We're still getting at it, man. Still trying to tap in.
So then, like, you know, you're performing like everywhere, but then when do you like make it click that like, okay, I'm gonna take music super seriously?
So like I said, I was real big into football, and that was my main focus, I would say, until my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately after my senior year, and then I went to Oklahoma State for a little bit. I came back and I started opening for people.
Who were you opening up for?
I opened up for Thug. That was my first show.
Young Thug?
It was hard. It was
where was that?
The Stoner Tour. So
oh shit!
Yeah.
Wait, what city?
It was in Dallas. Yeah, so I was one of the openers for that.
How'd that even happen?
How did that happen? I think we like just connected the dots with somebody who who ran the I think it was called 365 Live. It was some promotion company. They're not still like relevant right now. No, I talked to the dude. I know he's not, like, no shade.
Like, yeah, they ain't relevant, but they got me the plug earlier.
Yeah, so I did that one. I did Soulja Boy. That was kind of weird.
Soulja Boy.
Yeah, it was weird because like he just let everybody in the crowd on stage. Like it was the whole crowd on stage, so there was no more crowd.
How many people were in the crowd?
It was like maybe 100 or 200 people, like
on stage.
It was
that
like,
shit must have been.
It was deep
stupid.
as fuck, and I'm just looking at him like, bro, like somebody could easily rob you. We're in Dallas.
That's
like.
what I'm saying, bro. Like that just doesn't sound safe. I've heard of people like crowd surfing, but not getting the crowd like on stage.
We were like all on the stage deep. So I mean that was cool. And then
so what were you doing? Were you just like having a bird's eye view, like witnessing like everybody doing like the Soulja Boy dance on stage? Like, damn, this motherfucker's crazy.
Hell yeah, everybody was just trying to cloud chase, get on stage. So I was just peeping and just looking. But yeah, I did a lot of shows in Dallas. Like Deep Ellum is an area where like a lot of the Dallas scene happens.
Deep Elements?
Yeah, Deep Ellum. It's like downtown, like an area downtown. So, yeah, a lot of shows out there.
So who's been like your favorite? I don't even want to say like favorite person to open for, but what's been like your favorite performance so far?
I would have to say the Thug, because it's the most memorable. It was my first show. It was a shitload of people. They liked the music. It was the first time them ever hearing the music, and that was just like what started, and it was like, man, I got to keep going. Yeah. So that was cool, and like just any show really, because I love to interact with people after the show, you know, and I'm just happy they came out. So I don't know. Every show is fun to me.
No, I mean signing toasters, signing titties, whatever you can, bro.
Hell yeah, man.
So then, when do you make the decision? Like, okay, like I'm opening up for like Thug, opening up for Soulja Boy in Dallas. Like, when do you make the decision to like move to LA?
That was recently. So I recently moved here, like maybe 4 months ago.
Oh, you're super new to LA.
Yeah, super new. Well, I tapped in a lot. I used to record at MSM in Studio City. I just come back and forth from Dallas.
That must have been like a shit ton of like money just traveling back and forth though.
Hell yeah. But I mean, like you said, Dallas is cheap. So, I mean, it was cheaper than here. So it wasn't that bad. It was a sacrifice I was willing to make, obviously. So it wasn't that bad.
But then you were like coming back and like doing sessions. Were they like your own sessions, or were you like?
They're my own sessions. Lately, but when I'm here currently, I like write for other artists and try and pitch that.
Oh, word! Who have you been writing for?
I'm trying to pitch it to like Ty, Kalani, other artists, Kaylin White. just some cool artists. Yeah,
Shout out to Kalen White, man.
Yeah, that's the homie.
Shout out to Miles Parrish.
Yeah, that's the homie.
That's funny. Oh, so you're really cool with Kalen White?
Yeah, he's cool. My producer Dre is like one of his good friends. So.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
okay.
Easy. Yeah.
But yeah, because Kalen was like making like his whole stunt like back in the day. That was like within the past 10 years. But like
somebody told me that he was in like a group.
Yeah, so it was him and it was Kalen and Miles.
Mm-hmm.
So they were a group together, and I think their most poppin' song was called "Love Robbery."
Okay.
And both of them from the Bay Area. Miles was more of like the rapper, and then Kalen was more of like the singer.
Yeah.
And they just meshed well together. I think like their record definitely hit I think it hit number 1. I could be totally wrong, but it was like popping everywhere. And like something happened, and basically the group split up.
Uh-huh.
Now they're like Miles Parrish and Kalen White.
Oh, see,
yeah.
I just recently got hip to that, like maybe last week. Somebody mentioned the Mouse dude. Yeah. I haven't known him for that long. It was just like a business thing, but I've chilled with him a couple times.
Yeah,
he's cool.
But it's kind of cool knowing that like you're working with people who have been in the industry for a while, and like to from the Kalen and Mouse perspective, somebody who like a group that's been able to like tour like nationally and have had like a song that's like hit high accolades.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's my main reason I came here. The music that I'm working on, I think it's great, but I also believe in collaboration. So I think like,
thank you.
Yeah, getting more people on it. Like I just got an A&R for my project. So I just want it to be the best ever, like best thing ever. So
yeah, man. And I'm so happy that you said collaborations too, because we don't see that happening too much in the world right now. I mean, I'm always gonna reference like Ja Rule and Ashanti because that's when that time was going on. But it's like even Bow Wow and Omarion had like their own little thing together, and it's like we've seen so much. And funny thing too is that all of it happened like in R&B.
Exactly. So it's that love factor, I think. But I think collaboration, like I don't.
I think it has to be tasteful though.
Exactly. I don't want to always go back to Atlanta, but they do it so well. Like if you think about Thug, like everybody who's hot right now, like he low-key put them on, and then he collaborated with them on his own tape, and then on Gunna he collabed on that. It's
true.
Just like that's how you win.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like collaborations is how you keep the culture like moving forward. Because it all just goes back to this crab mentality we were talking about. It's like if you think somebody's dope, why don't you just like bring them onto your shit?
Support them, man. It makes you look better. I mean, like, just be a good person at the end of the day. People respect that. So, I mean, collaboration, I'm big on that. I'm never against that. So,
who are some people have you been like collaborating with, or at least like been in the studio with, that you think like some songs could actually come to fruition?
Like I said, the one with Kaylin that we cooked up is pretty dope. Like I like it. So, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be on it. I may just give it to him. But there's a lot of people I don't want to necessarily say too soon, because
it's all good. I had to ask the question anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, stuff has to get cleared and shit. I know how that goes. So.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. Shout out to the NDAs of the world, man. We gotta sign a paper and shit.
Oh yeah, so.
That's cool, man. So then, like, being in LA, like, what? Like, have you felt like this transgression in your life, like something different about you, like your work ethic and all that?
I feel like here, it's like I've been in a lot of sessions. So it's like at home, I'm not doing that. It's like, because it's kind of hard. Like Dallas isn't set up like this. So you're not going from session to session, or like you're at home making music. So I think LA just sets me up to be like a better artist, like naturally, because you got to go to the session. You're with artists who are bigger than you, so like naturally you're gonna want to show up. So I feel like that's what LA brings, is that like savage, that hunger.
Yeah. Because
so.
if you're out here to do music, then I can only imagine that like at least more than half your day has to do with music.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I think that's a big part of it. And like I said, the city, the way it's set up, just like kind of like Atlanta, everything is set up musically towards the musicians, and then they support it. So I think this is a nice place to be as far as
100%.
yeah,
And
the
you know,
only place right now.
really the only place, man. But that's why we got a shit ton of traffic and a whole bunch of like angry ass people on the road, bro. Like
people
it's
trying to
crazy,
get
man.
it.
It's crazy.
Hell yeah.
That's why even like LA looks at the Bay Area kind of like as like its little brother, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you know, I look at places like New York and Los Angeles to be like the mecca of all this entertainment shit, and you have to be at like one of the two if you want to like survive in this shit. But what I have noticed is that like a lot of the smaller places, let's say even like Little Rock, for example, or even like Brockhampton, they're from like Texas, right? Or even like Khalid, he's from what, El Paso, right?
I thought he was from Houston, but he's from somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, he's like from somewhere in Texas, but it's like I think that a lot of these smaller places or smaller markets per se like have a huge advantage if you are like either one or like one of few who can like pop off from there. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And like Dallas is one of those cities like it's really untapped. Like it's so many people who are talented. It's just like I said, that infrastructure. Like there's nobody there to really help. So it's like we got to help ourselves, and that's why we would move out here for 6 months or like for forever, just to like bring it back home because literally there's nothing like. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just not set up that way. So
damn, man.
Yeah.
I feel like we just need to set up these infrastructures.
No,
like
that's literally it. That's literally
that's all it is. Like somebody just needs to set the shit up.
Set it up, man. Shit, don't let me do it first.
Shit, at this point you might as well, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, people just need to tap in, create that pipeline, you know, from LA to Dallas. Cause it's like, it's so much talent, man. Even like from NWA, like Dallas was a part of that shit too. So it's like, I don't know. It's history. I just don't think we get the right look. So I don't know what happens in the midst of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I think because, you know, me being from the Bay Area, I'm surrounded by, like, a bunch of, like, my day one homies who I will love to death. But it's, like, people ask me all the time, like, why did you move? And I'm just like, well, because a lot of the people who I'm around aren't in the creative field. You know what I mean? Like, you know, shout out to my homies because, like, you know, they want to live, like, that stable life, you know, like, get, like, a 9-to-5 job and do, like, the whole 9, which is cool for them. Whereas for me, I'm just like, I don't find stability in that stability, so I need to like get out of my way to, you know, stay hungry per se.
Exactly, gotta be uncomfortable, bro, and that's why I moved here. It's just like it's a total transition, like just traffic, financially,
fucking
like
top
people.
Ramen every day.
Yeah, like,
at least for me.
I like Asian food, so obviously,
obviously sushi.
But yeah, so. I mean, but it's cool, man. It's really inspiring. So it's like it's never like you have hard times, but it's not a bad day because you know why you're here. So
yeah,
that's a cool thing.
What's been like your toughest day in LA so far?
Man, just like on days I have like multiple sessions and I'm just tired because it's like from morning. For like 12 hours. Yeah,
I feel you, bro.
And it's just the traffic.
The fucking traffic.
So that's tiring. But I mean, like I said, I'm easygoing, so I'm not that person to be like, man, this shit's hard. Like I know.
You just gotta bust through it.
Exactly. I know I put myself here, and I know like it's gonna work out.
So did you get any of those tattoos while you were in LA, or?
No, I haven't got a tattoo in a while. Actually, I got this in China. So the butterfly.
The butterfly?
Yeah, butterfly tattoo in China.
Why'd you get a butterfly in China?
In China? Well, I went out there to visit some friends.
Okay.
But the whole meaning behind the butterfly, I'm coming out with an EP called the Butterfly EP. So, yeah.
There we go. But why like a butterfly, though?
It just symbolizes growth for me, longevity. Like I said, I'm just emerging in the game. So, it's just... That's the symbolism I'm going for. Like, if you know me from, like, where I started... you can definitely see the growth. I can feel the growth, like that's just good. From around people, like people that are around me. So that's the whole message behind it. And yeah, I was just in China, just fucking
Just
around.
China fucking around like I'm gonna get a fucking butterfly today.
Yeah, and shit's mad cheap in China. It's
How much you get the tattoo for?
I think US dollars is maybe $40.
No, for that?
I promise.
That's crazy.
Heck yeah, man. It's crazy.
What else you got going on?
So I got I got Arkansas. On
Some
me.
Literature.
Yeah, Little Rock, the diamond for the natural state. You know, I got a shark.
You got one that says blood is thicker than water.
Yeah, blood is thicker than water for the homies. Shit.
Oh look, he got Arkansas tatted on his right shoulder
got
too.
Little Rock. Oh shit, Little Rock. Got my birthday. I got a lot of tattoos, man. Got my mom's name, her year.
Shout out to moms, man. So let me ask you this: is there a tattoo that you regret?
Tattoo I regret? No, not really. Not really.
Because I got one.
You do? I'm curious. I'm curious.
Oh shit! Shout out to my ex-girlfriend.
I ain't even gonna ask.
Yeah, got that shit when I was 19. For the record.
Oh shit, man! I almost did that.
You
shit.
almost did.
Yeah, this girl I was mad in love with, but
Yeah.
fuck that.
You pulled out though.
Pulled out
In both ways.
Hell yeah. So
I'm just saying.
I'm dead. Yeah, bro. But I mean, that shit happens, bro. You're not the only one.
Yeah, it does happen, man. I actually had somebody on the podcast. His name's Yellow Hill, and we were talking about tattoos too. And he was like, "Bro, I got the same thing." I was like, "Yeah, there we go. Fun fact."
I'm dead.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but tattoos are dope. I plan on getting a shitload more. So.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to talk to you when you get more tattoos too, bro. So you got this song called "Know That" that's popping off right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is funny story was that like when I was listening to it this morning, I was still probably like half awake. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning. So then I had my Spotify on and my phone, you know, just like faced upward.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to it, and then you said something like, "I want to bang you like the Bloods and Crips in L.A." And I was like, "Whoa." I woke up immediately. I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
That shit went sideways so quickly.
Yeah, bro. I like to do that. Like, I like to, you know, be elegant and like as far as like the sound sonically, but I like to be vulgar in my lyrics. So like, I don't know.
Well, it creates surprising moments like that, you know, because we don't hear that shit in R&B for sure.
Exactly.
But I want to ask you, like, what was really the inspiration behind Know That? Because it seems like, you know, in comparison to like the rest of your songs, this is the one that's like popping off right now.
Mm-hmm. I definitely like when I feel songs, like the beat is the first thing. So shout out to the homie Lars. So I was just really vibing with the beat at the time. Like I said, I was going through a breakup, so the song for me was something like me foreshadowing. It's like, you know, came up, you know, I'm stunned, I didn't change everything but my number. Like you're going to hit me up eventually. And I mean, maybe you can hit me up and maybe not. I may be like 2 on. I may be so far gone at this point.
Yeah.
So that was what the song was mainly about for me. So, and yeah. And the girl out in Frisco, I was like...
Yeah, I heard that too, and I was like, okay.
People may think it's like NorCal, Frisco, but it's like, it's Frisco, Texas. So
oh, so you played me. I was like, yo, he was getting it with like some Bay Area chick. I'm like, what's going on
Y'all
here?
can vibe out to that. I like Bay chicks. Yeah.
Wait, what's the city? Is the city called Frisco?
No, it's called Frisco. So like, people may not like hear it, but I say I have a girl out in Frisco. I think she knows Dak. And what I mean by Dak is like Dak Prescott. So like in Frisco is where the Dallas Cowboys facility is, and I worked for them.
Oh.
Yeah, I worked for the Cowboys for a little bit.
Okay.
So it's just me. I'm literally writing just how I feel. So. And that's what came to mind. But people may not peep that. So I let people take what they want to take from the song and then let them vibe out to that.
Man, interesting shit. Well, now people will get a better understanding when they Know That.
Hell yeah.
But so you were also working for the Dallas Cowboys at one point?
Yeah, that was the last job I had before I moved here.
What were you doing for the Cowboys?
Something called like cryotherapy. So I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a cold chamber.
Where you like throw everybody in ice.
Yeah, well, not ice, but Yeah, it's like
cold ass chamber.
It's like a chamber. You stand up. You literally stand up, and you're in there for like 3 minutes, and it gets like negative 300 degrees. So the max.
Hell no.
Yeah, it's intense, man.
Fuck. Have you tried that before?
Yeah, I had to do it a lot just like for my certificate.
Jesus Christ.
You actually
no,
feel
dude.
better sometimes, though.
No, I heard because I know LeBron does that. type of
exactly,
shit.
exactly.
And I'm just like, I don't know about like putting my body through such intense circumstances. But you know what I do notice is that a lot of athletes who, you know, they're like popping off in like high school and then end up going to college, then you know, due to like whatever circumstances, they end up doing something in some sort of like medical field when it comes to like athletes and whatnot. So I mean, it makes sense why you got over there.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes sense. I still love football, so that was cool. I mean, I got to network a lot with people, music, business, a lot of different things. I met a guy who sells jets, and now I sell jets too. So like on the side,
jets?
like
Like
airplane, G5.
What the
So if you need a jet, holla at me.
So we got an R&B singer, we got a jet seller, and we got a freaking crypto.
Crypto, I wish. I need that bag, that crypto bag. Nah, but yeah, I mean, I like to dabble in like different things, but right now, music's the main
Just
focus.
all music, man. Yeah, that's a blessing, man. It's funny because you just have like, it just seems like you have so many random connects. Did you ever like plug your music to anybody from the Cowboys?
Kinda indirectly. So
just playing it in the background while they're like
in
the chamber.
No, I actually showed like one person at the front desk, and they just went wild and showed everybody. I was like, I guess cool. So I was like, cool. I mean, and that was just another thing for me. Like at the time, I was like, all right, well, people like actually like this song, so that was cool. So yeah, ever since I've just been telling people, marketing it. And just trying to get it going.
Man, good way to market it, bro. Good way to market it. So, Sushii, right now, I'm just going to ask you, like, a series of, like, random questions off the top of the head, and you answer, like, as slow or as fast as you can, bro.
Cool.
So, I'm going to ask you the obvious one, but what's your favorite food?
All right, I'm not going to say sushi.
Good. Because I would have been like, okay, well, Alaskan sushi, we got that out the way.
But it's pretty close, man. Like, I walk around L.A. and I smell dumplings everywhere. And
you really like Asian food. You really like Asian food.
I really do. And I was just like, man, I really need to tap in. There's so many places around here that have dumplings. Bro. I love dumplings. So right now, that's probably my favorite, you know. You know,
whenever me and my girl end up going to, like, a Chinese restaurant, right, she will purposely not tell me the food because I always make fun of the names, right? 'Cause, you know, for instance, like, you know, like, Chinese food in particular, they just got some funny-ass names. Like, I had this rapper in here last week, and his name is Chow Mein. And I'm like, bruh, what? And so then I remember distinctly this one time we went into, like, this dim sum, like, place, and she ordered some food. And she was like, try it. I was like, all right, bet. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I was like, what's it called? She's like, no, I'm not going to tell you. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, no, because you're going to make fun of the name. I'm like, all right, just tell me. She's like, well, it's called Look Fun. And I'm like, I start dying. I'm like, bruh, this shit's called Look Fun?
Well,
what you mean?
I think they, like, when I was in China, in Shanghai, like, I think they call that, like, Chinglish. I don't want to offend anybody. But it's, like, Chinese and English, like, it doesn't, like, translate well. So sometimes, sometimes they think they're saying, like, something that makes sense, but in our perspective, it doesn't necessarily make sense. Yeah, I don't know.
It really doesn't, bro. Or even, like, have you seen, like, this tweet where, are you into basketball? Kind of? A little bit. Okay, but you know, like the LeBron James, and, like the Steph Currys of the world,
I stopped watching basketball once the Mavericks won. Fucking.
Oh shit! Hey, so you were pissed in like 2007 when
Baron
we beat
Davis. He's fucking us up, boy. That shit was horrible, bro.
But you guys got your win like what, 2 years later, a year or two later?
Baron Davis was fucking us up. Bruh. I remember that vividly, and it was crazy. I'm like, this is embarrassing,
bro, because we were going into that series as guys the favorites and we were the underdogs because we were the AFC, and I'm just like, yeah, I feel really confident about this. I think you guys probably got like what 1 or 2 wins on us during that series.
I thought y'all low key sweep this. Like it was
we didn't sweep. Okay. I think you guys got like 1 or 2 games.
At least
on
one,
us.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it was horrible. I remember that shit. I was young, but
that's hella funny.
Yeah. So I stopped tapping in after they won.
Well, to my point, like like in Asia, like they give nicknames to like the James Hardens and like the Steph Currys of the world, and the way it translates is just kind of like weird.
For real?
Yeah. I'm gonna pull something up right now because like we need to go over these names. So it's like Asian nicknames for
they're huge
basketball.
in basketball. Like they love basketball, crazy.
Okay. Oh, see, so even Steph Curry is called the Sprout God.
Yeah, that's lit.
It's kind of lit. I'm just like, yo, that's kind of lit. Or, okay, so even like LeBron James, like since in English he's King James, like it's also translated as the Little Emperor.
Yeah, that's kind of hard.
It's kind of hard. I'm just like, yo, like these names are more lit than the English ones.
Nah, yeah, I fuck with China, man. It's dope, man. They love like the culture. They party a lot. At least in Shanghai where I was, it looks like a fucking huge New York. So,
but even being in like China, like I think it's more so in Hong Kong than it is in like Shanghai. But it's like I heard the politics there. It's kind of hard to like maneuver even as like a musician. Like for instance, like I was just at this thing called the 88 Rising Festival.
Yeah,
where
I know.
Okay,
yeah.
Were you there?
No,
Don't tell me you were there. I would have freaked out.
No, I work a lot with the Far East movement, so 88 Rising is like I'm part of them.
Oh, word!
I didn't mention that earlier.
We just keep on digging randomly. So wait, since you work with Far East movement, do you know like Dumbfounded and Satica?
I know of them. I haven't met them. I work with one of their producers from Far East Movement.
Is that Dre or no? How did you end up? Okay, so then how did you end up linking with Far East Movement?
My wonderful manager.
Shout out Austin, man.
Yeah. So yeah, like ever since, and this is just from 4 months ago. So it's like you're just tapping in, and but they're cool. It's cool as fuck. Like I like the vibes, everything. Like it's great. So.
Damn, look at that, man. Working with, like, Far East Movement and everybody else that we mentioned in the fucking podcast. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Huh? You want to get the Dumbfounded collab? 100%. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm just like, bro. Like, it's nuts, bro. So it's like, even working with, like, see, because I've been, like, a fan of Dumbfounded since I was, like, a kid.
Yeah.
And then I saw him at the 88 Rising Festival this past year, and I'm just like, bro, like, I just need, like, a couple minutes with you just to interview, because you're so hard to get to, bro.
Yeah. I remember when Playboy Cardi did that 88 Rising freestyle. That shit was hard. So that's how I, like, got onto them. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. I don't know if many people seen it, but you should look it up. It's pretty dope.
I gotta check that shit out, man.
Yeah.
So Sushii, favorite movie of all time?
I was real big into Transformers, like when that shit first came out.
Okay. I was about to say because I think by the time we got to the fourth one, I'm just like, come on.
Yeah, they started to piss me off. Yeah, the first one's the best one, and then after that, it started to dwindle. And it's like. I don't know, redundant, so I guess.
Super redundant.
But yeah, like the first one is one of my favorite movies. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Let's say dream collaborations. Let's take Dumbfounded out of that context.
Okay. Dream collaborations, definitely J. Cole. I'm a big Cole fan.
We're hitting like every single like box. I'm just like, man, 88 Rising, J. Cole. I don't know what else, man.
Yeah, I'm a big
low key when I asked you favorite movie, I was like, this motherfucker better not say Rush Hour or something like that.
That's actually I used a tag from Rush Hour one time.
Which one?
When he pulls up in the car, he's like, he had the dictionary out trying to figure out what the fuck to say. And he's like, hey baby, let's go get some sushi, blah blah blah. So I used that.
Okay. I see that.
I used that tag. So, but yeah,
I thought you were gonna be like, yo. You are. Like, no, it's y'all. You all. And it's so
The
funny.
filter fish and shit like that.
And oh shit, man, that's one of my favorite movies of all time because at the radio station we gotta work with hella buttons.
Okay.
And I'm just like, push the button. Just push the button.
Classic, man. We need more classics.
We need way more classics, bro.
So.
Favorite, let's say favorite actor.
Favorite actor. I don't want to be cliche and say Denzel. I would say Idris Elba.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So
it's a curveball.
I feel like, I don't know, he does some interesting roles. I feel like he can, he almost got the 007, but, I feel like, I don't know. It's pretty dope to me. I mean,
man.
So.
Oh, shit. Favorite album of all time? Actually, go ahead. You already had it.
College Dropout. All the time. I listened to that album, while I was actually, and obviously I heard it when it came out, when I was little, my parents played it. But, when I listened to it while I was in college and going through all this shit, and it was man, I almost cried. I was like, what the fuck? This makes sense, the message that he was trying to give off. So, I don't know, that'll forever stick with me, you know?
Yeah,
so.
Those are, one of those albums that, you can appreciate when you're younger. Excuse me. But once you get into that situation, it's kind of oh, shit, well, it makes me like it even more now.
And, I mean, that's why I like Drake, too. He paints that picture of the industry. If you pay attention, he tells you a lot what goes on and, what you run into, as far as, people in your camp and, women and, so it's, if people listen, people, they low-key are giving you keys to keys to success. So it's painting a picture for me. So
that's
I
some
like
real
that shit. Yeah.
You make me want to listen back to Take Care or some shit.
Yeah, just think about it. He talks about his exes, hitting them up, and know that it's kind of
this motherfucker really be flying out women from Miami. This shit's crazy.
That shit happens. That shit's real. So I mean, I always respect real shit.
So top 5 R&B singers.
Usher.
In no particular order.
Nope. Yeah, I'm just the top of my head. Usher, Trey Songz.
Ooh.
We can go old school. I fuck with Stevie Wonder a lot. I like blues too. I like Johnny Taylor. I don't know if people know who Johnny Taylor is. Y'all should tap in.
Andrew's up on Johnny Taylor. I'm not.
Yeah, Johnny Taylor.
You got one more spot, bro.
I like to mix it up. I'm gonna say The Dream. People would sleep on The Dream as a songwriter, even the artist, but yeah, The Dream.
There we go, man.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna end it up. We're gonna end that stream of questions on that note because I'm happy you threw The Dream in there.
Yeah, man.
Sushii. So I noticed on your Spotify there's no projects out. So are you just working on your debut EP album?
Yep.
What you got going on?
So I'm working on making things cohesive, like I said, and collaborating with bigger artists or just artists in general, just to make I just want to make it rememberable, because I came up, I was a big fan of people like Cole and Drake, and it's just the way they portrayed themselves and made everything look professional and made you feel a part of it.
And there's a story to actually follow.
A story to follow. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So that's what really I'm trying to build. So just people are proud of supporting Sushii, It's it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So then, considering that you listen to a lot of Cole and your favorite album of all time is College Dropout, what kind of what kind of storyline can we expect to follow when your project does actually come out?
Like I said, the Butterfly EP is definitely going to be showing my growth as a person, my growth in between relationships. Obviously, have to add that love aspect in there. So I think for me, that's the first thing that's going to be portrayed. Like I said, I have different backgrounds. We can go hood, we can go
Asian.
we can go a lot of ways with it. But I just want people right now to see my growth as an artist. So that's really what I'm trying to show and be the best I can be. So
amen to that, man.
Yeah.
Any ballpark for the release date? Still working on it.
Still working on that. I don't want to, rush it. Every good project takes a while. People may think it's oh, they just made that shit. Nah, they've been making that shit for years. So I think, I just buckle down, and when it's ready, it's gonna be ready. So
there we go. Yeah. Well, Sushii, where can everybody find you, man?
On all social media, raw like Sush. No eyes or anything like that. So yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, Butterfly EP coming out when it comes out with like a whole bunch with a whole bunch of like
2020.
collaborations.
We'll say 2020.
2020? Okay, that sounds like a good year because that's the renaissance for R&B music, man.
Exactly.
I like that. And plus you'll have like 2020 vision. Hopefully a clear cut vision of you know where I'm going with this. I'm just gonna be fumbling on my words. This is the lunch table.
Hell yeah,
Food for thought. I'm Nico Blitz. Sushi, and we are out, everybody.
Yay.